Hi, okay. My name is Jacob Larson, and we are going through the 9 different personality types. Wrote a blog on the personality type 1 of the Enneagram, the perfectionist, or the need to be perfect. And I'm sitting here with my daughter. Her name is Nicole. And as you can see, I haven't showered in 2 days, and I'm sitting in front of a shower curtain. So clearly, I am not a type 1. However, Nicole is. So I asked her to, if she'd be willing to come on this video and share her thoughts on it. She read the blog just the other night. And type 1s are very, very organized people. They're very organized people. They like things to be done a certain way. They like things to be in order. It's something that comes from within in them. They don't have to be told to organize or structure things. They will literally see disorder and they will put it in order. And obviously, I'm Nicole's dad, so I've seen Nicole grow from very small child up into an adult. You're going to be 18 in about a month here. So I've been able to witness what's going on, and based on what I've read, type 1s kind of develop that personality of wanting things to be done right, primarily because they don't like getting in trouble. At some point in time in their life, they've witnessed what it's like to get in trouble, and they've decided that's not going to be them. So, would you say that's fairly accurate?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. I could count, thinking back, especially going through this type 1, reading on it and stuff like that, I can definitely think of times when Nicole was younger, and she did get in trouble, but nothing even remotely close like her brother. Nothing remotely close like her brother. Her brother was the in trouble guy. He was just always up to something. Nicole was the, innocent bystander, didn't have anything to do with, although I will say that there was this one incident with chocolate syrup that ended up all over the kitchen. And there was no one else in the room, and she was covered from head to toe, so it was pretty easy to see she did that. And the look on her face the moment me and her mother walked around the corner was sheer tears. She just bursted out in bawling because she knew, her hand was in the cookie jar. She got caught. So And I remember that specifically because it was one of those instances me and her mom had a really hard time not laughing. It was like you couldn't help but laugh. And but type 1s are very, very organized people. They're very structured. And, on one hand, that can be a very, very good thing. You are a straight A student.
I am.
Correct? Always have been.
Yep.
Always have been. This girl, I've heard stories of some parents that have really struggled with their kids' schoolwork. That is never the case with Nicole. Never. Straight A student on everything. As a matter of fact, how do you feel about getting anything but an A?
It really, really bothers me. I almost got a B this last term, and I would have been in tears if I did.
Why?
It's just, I don't know.
You don't know. Have you ever thought about that?
It really would have bothered me. No, I haven't.
So,
it just really would have bothered me.
In terms of that, though, how many times... Here, you need to scoot in here a little bit, girl. Let's get in the camera. Mm-hmm. How many times can you remember your dad giving you just a little bit of advice when it comes to schoolwork? And what does your dad say?
Quite a few times. Given me advice quite a few times. It's not exactly helpful advice, though.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So what is it? What's the advice your dad gives you?
You can do it later. You don't need to worry about it. You already have the A. Stuff like that.
You could skip school, call in sick,
Mm-hmm.
and we can hang out
Yep.
and do stuff. Now, obviously, that's not normal parenting advice, right? Right?
Right.
But I say that because I'm like, you're super intense when it comes to schoolwork. I mean, hyper intense. I couldn't be. I mean, I've just noticed that it's like, hey, we got to bring this girl down a little bit just to get her to chill, because it's like you literally cut short fun things to do schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like being a weirdo? Because that's
It's pretty good.
weird.
It's pretty good.
That's weird.
Feels pretty cool to have a 4.0 GPA.
Okay, all right, something I never had, but hey. Okay, so I'm just saying. I mean, there is. I mean, things have to be a certain way. Obviously, right now you're probably totally going crazy in your head because this video is anything but perfect. I'm clearly not a 1. That's not how I operate. I don't really care. But so you read the blog,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that some ones can be a good thing, but obviously ones have got the negative aspect to them on how they can become a little overbearing in a few areas, and things happen to be a certain way can rub people wrong. Mm-hmm. So have you encountered that sort of thing?
Yes.
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 Okay. Well, I can tell you a story. I mean, let's hear yours first, but what can you tell me one story of where that was something where you realized that I'm getting upset over something that I probably shouldn't get upset about, and I shouldn't be so adamant about it being this certain way?
Well, going back to the school topic, last year I had an AP biology class and
What's AP?
advanced placement.
Okay, got it. I knew that.
Yeah. And it was definitely a harder science class, and when it came time to take the final test in that class, I did not feel like I was prepared. And I took the test to the best of my ability, but when I came out, I really thought I was going to fail it and end up with a B in that class. And I went to the bathroom and I cried and I called my mom.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Wow. That's intense.
That is not something that I should have been that worked up over.
I agree. I totally agree. I think you should have called it a half day and called your father. That's what I'd have done. Okay, so that's actually a good example. I mean, you got really, really involved, emotionally invested into a grade that didn't go your way. And when it didn't go your way, you took it out on yourself, pretty upset. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So that's obviously something that, as a 1, you got to work on. You don't want to be doing that. You can't, the internal dialogue, the talk, you got to be positive, because it's okay to not have everything right all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's a story. So in regards to the Enneagram 1, I would say the one thing that stood out, no, I'm not going to fix my hat. I know you're looking at my hat.
I am.
Yeah, I'm not fixing my hat. See, I knew it. I knew this would be something that you'd just be like, So resist the urge to physically manhandle my hat.
Oh, I have been.
Good. This is a test. So anyway, after I started doing the Enneagram, I had some friends and stuff do it. And I'm not using names here. I never do when I'm telling stories. But I had gone with a buddy of mine hunting. It's been 3 years ago now. And like I said, once you start doing the Enneagram, you start putting stuff together, and it's like, wow, this makes more sense. Well, I went hunting with a buddy of mine. It had snowed heavily. There was probably 2-3 feet of snow. We were in his truck, 4-wheel drive truck, had all of our gear. There was an area up on top of a ridge line that we wanted to get up to and look down into a valley, see if we could see any animal. So we're in his truck, we're driving up this ridge line. It was later on in the day, and it was one of those things that 2020 hindsight probably should not have been doing at that time of the day. We should have called it quits earlier and come back. But we were both very motivated to get up there. We wanted to see down into this bowl. So we kept pushing up through the snow. Got dark around 5:30 during that time, and so we lost our daylight. And as we got higher up this ridge line, the snow got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and eventually we were pushing snow over the hood of the truck. And of course, I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and he's like, "I want to do this." I'm like, "Hey, I'm in. Let's do this. We've got chains. We're good." So we're pushing up on this ridge line, and suddenly the four-wheel drive's not cutting anymore. We've got nice solid tires, but not cutting anymore. We're like, we got to put on some chains. So he hops out of the truck to get the chains out from back behind the seat. And as he's getting the chains out, and you got to remember something, we're tired. We've been hunting all day. We just wanted to take a look at this place so we could get up here early morning. By this time, it's probably 8, 9 o'clock at night. And we're so close. I mean, we're just like so close. It's like we don't want to call it quits. We're going to make it and get up there and see if we can see anything. And so anyway, he hops out of the truck and he goes to get some chains out from behind his seat. And we've got our gear all in the back. And literally it's, he's fighting and pulling, trying to get the chains out. And at that point, he's just pissed off. I mean, he's totally upset. And he, opens up the truck, after messing around in the back, and he says, "Get out of the truck. We're pulling everything out of the truck. We're going to get this shit organized." So here we are, up on the top of a ridgeline, in 3 feet of snow, and this guy starts yanking every living stitch of everything out of that truck, dropping it in the snow because we're going to organize the truck. And I'm kind of looking at him and I'm going, seriously? It's cold outside. We don't need to do this. We've got the chains. No, we're doing this now. So we sat there for, I don't know, good 35, 40 minutes as he, one by one, put everything back in the truck the way he wanted it. Now, I didn't help with the putting back in. I just stood back, kept my mouth shut, and let him do it. Because that's what he wanted to do. Now, later on, when I was going through the Enneagram, I always kind of give it, that's just that guy. When I was going through the Enneagram, I began to recognize, wow, that was definitely a one moment. So ones can be somewhat interesting sometimes, when it comes to their desire to get things right. And how do you feel about that? You probably can relate to that, right?
Not to that extent.
Not to that extent?
I think I agree. It's cold.
Right, it's cold. I don't want to get out of the truck and organize the truck. What's that about? So if you look at the website, you read through it. They've got some scriptures at the that I've listed at the bottom of ones that can read and really try to rein that in a little bit and appreciate the imperfection of life. And it's the imperfection of life and the things like that add a little color to life and make it interesting. So not be so wrapped up in order and consistency and things have to be a certain way. And most importantly, especially, when it comes to people are messy. People are messy. They are not organized and structured and all the time. So being able to give the people around you a break and understand and know that, hey, it's okay. I mean, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to get it right all the time. And then in turn, focusing that effort on yourself and realizing that you're okay and you don't have to be perfect either. And God loves you anyway because you are beautifully and wonderfully made. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Anything you want to add?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Enneagram Type 1. Thanks, folks. Keep watching.